It's Tuesday. Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah. Also, an awesome New Year. I'm back for another week. Very excited to be here. Rob Carson is my name. The number here, 602-260-5394. 602-260-5394. I've got all the Christmas decorations down except for one wreath in my TV and radio studio. There's one wreath, and I don't know. I don't want to take it down. My wife took care of the Big Lots Christmas tree with the tree dazzler on it over the weekend. All that, man, it's such a pain in the butt. If I get to a point, and I will get to a point where I can afford to hire someone to just go downstairs and get all those damn stinking storage bins out of the basement, bring the stuff up, hang it up, I can enjoy it, then they take care of it. That's my dream. And to be able to just go to Whole Foods and buy anything without thinking about the price. Those are the two dreams. That's what I aspire to in 2018. Welcome to the show. Much to get to. Some local, some national. Did you hear Kim Jung Un? Over the weekend, he delivered an address. He was actually conciliatory to South Korea. And he changed from the communistic, whatever, I don't know if they call them Nehru jackets or whatever, but the uniform of his father's to a business suit, got all cleaned up and everything. I think that had a little bit to do with Donald Trump, maybe. We did find out, however, he does have a button on his desk that can launch a nuclear weapon anywhere in the United States. He's got a button right there on the desk, and that is very dangerous to have, especially if you've got toddlers or something. Somebody's going to spill something. You're going to walk in. You're going to throw the briefcase on the desk, and you're going to forget the button is there. And then what do you got? You got nuclear holocaust. It's like you just kind of finish the last chapter in the Kindle and you just toss it over. Oh, gee. Oh, Lord. Abort, 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 abort. What is the code for abort? What is my password? Hold on a second. Oh, dang. I should have never put that button there. Well, I could do some sort of a bad Asian accent, but I decided not to. I could. It would be very easy to do that, but I didn't go there. It's weird. Isn't it weird, though? Matt Lauer had a button on his desk, too. And are you ready for the weird coincidence here? Darren, you ready for the weird coincidence here? Both of the buttons were about missile launching. That's the way it was. They were, you know? So, anyway. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Make sure to tip your bartenders and waitresses. Isn't that funny? The button on the desk. If you could have a button on your desk, what would it do? There you go. There's a question for you. If you could have a button on your desk, what it would do? You know what my button would do? My button would bring me a Chipotle burrito the way I like it. That's what I would like, because I'm particular about Chipotle burrito. Got to have my chicken fajita, little rice, lots of vegetables, extra corn, sour cream cheese. Boom! If I could have a button just right there. And even if you dropped your your laptop on your button, you're still getting delicious burrito goodness, right? You're not launching a nuclear holocaust. It's pretty heavy for one little button. This little. You see this button right here? That's the end of my nation. Just that button right there. Buttons should turn things on and off, but nothing that big. It should be a little bit more complicated than just hitting a button. What about the two keys thing? You know, you turn yours, I'll turn mine. Don't we have some sort of a political prisoner who can do that? Oh, we killed everybody. Okay, all right, well, son, what are we going to do about this button thing? I'd be lousy with that. I would be lousy with that. I have enough time and trouble just with the passwords for all of the accounts that I have, whether that be Facebook, whether that be Twitter, whether that be Commerce Bank or whatever bank we have now, or Discover. And you got all these stupid passwords everywhere. I'd be lousy. What was that? Was it my daughter's middle name for the nuclear pass? What the hell? It's just weird. So, got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. Legalization of pot, I think, is jumping the shark. Did you see CNN on New Year's? They just made complete and utter buffoons out of themselves. You had one woman on a bus called the Canna Bus. Randy Kay, who looks like just this suburban mom, and here we are, and I'm just here, And I'm on this bus, and they call it the Canna bus. And the reason they do that, Don Lemon, is that he goes, yeah, it's because they smoke pot. Wait, let me get to that just a second. See, cannabis is what they call marijuana. And so I'm on a bus called the Canna bus where you can smoke marijuana. What she didn't expect was she got totally stoned on the bus. And it was cute, but why in the hell? Why did CNN, honestly, why did CNN think it was important, tasteful, whatever, to do a remote from a stoner bus in Colorado? All right. Well, what do you think about that, guys? Because I'm not a prude. And if I went to Colorado, I might consider getting a pot gummy, just popping a pot gummy. Yes, I've smoked marijuana. I was in college. It's been a while, but I might just consider it. But at the same time, to do it like this, I mean, there was a guy, he had a World War I era kind of looking gas mask. And what it does is it fills up with, does the opposite of what a gas mask does, and that is to filter out the air that can kill you. This does the opposite. It intensifies it, so all you can do is smell pot and breathe it in. And so she's there. She puts the damn gas mask on. Then she lights a guy's bong. Here's a little bit of the audio.
Cannabis in it, so you actually put it in the bong. You filled it up, and you don't want it. You packed it. Okay. So you're gonna now what? Now you're gonna celebrate a little New Year's early, or what?
Honest with you, I've never hit one.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't think this is really what a gas mask is used for, but.
Yeah, that's generally, yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is New Year's Eve Denver style.
This is legal in Colorado. I know.
Okay. All right. Why? There are a million other things happening in the country. Why couldn't they do a live shot from wherever? They chose to be on a Canna bus. I'm sorry. I was at a loss for words. And it's not because I'm a prude. I'm not a prude. And then, of course, they had Don Lemon out there with, what the hell was it, Brooke Baldwin, and she said she has bigger, I'll just say it, because they were wearing beads and they were round. She said the balls that she has were larger than his. You didn't hear that, Darren?
No, I missed that.
Are you kidding me?
No.
All right, I'll play you the audio. Brooke Baldwin sexually harassing Don Lemon on national television. And get your thoughts. I mean, what did you think of it? Did you see it at all? 602-260-5394. I don't think we're ready to celebrate it like this on a major news network, all right? 602-260-5394, 602-260-KFYI. Okay, let's do East Side, West Side traffic, shall we? Lee Powell, Steve Trilla.
Yeah, a couple of nasty wrecks here. One of those southbound 101, Rob, at the 202 Santan Freeway. Now, that is partially blocking the transition from 101 southbound over to eastbound 202. Looks like the left lane is blocked off. And I can tell you for a fact you've got heavy slowing from Chandler Boulevard over to that transition at the 202. Now, on the 202 eastbound Santan Freeway, there's a wreck just past the 101, slowing back to McClintock from that. 10 eastbound, a lot of stop-and-go action already. Jefferson out to the 60. Crash slowing up things in Tempe on University Drive east of Rural. What's the latest on the west side, Steve Trella?
Well, we still have an accident at I-10 westbound at 7th Street, but we've cleared an accident at I-17 northbound after Bethany Hump, and also cleared an accident on the 51 northbound at Thomas. We've got an accident at 19th Avenue at Southern, also a crash to look out for 27th Avenue north of Thomas. Next traffic, that's coming up at 4:33. Steve Trella, 550 KFYI.
Hey, the world is changing faster than ever. Get perspective with the Mike Broomhead Show. Mornings at 6 on News Talk 550 KFYI.
Ron Carson's going to get again. I missed you. I did a week or a day last week, day after Christmas, and there's a void in my life when I'm not on this radio station, and it was very cool to be back. And I've got a lot of stuff I want to get to, a lot of stuff. I hope that your Christmas was awesome. I hope that your New Year's was awesome. My wife, I got her an Echo View, I guess it's called. It's a little Amazon Echo, but it's got a TV screen on it, right? So you can hear music and you hear whatever, Alexa will do for you, but you also get some video with it. And it's kind of nice. And then I got her Dog hair vacuum cleaner. I know. Wow. Woo! You wanted to? I am just physically exhausted. The love that I got. No, actually, when she opened it, she went, "Oh, you got me a vacuum cleaner." I said, "Listen. You're gonna like this." Because we have 3 dogs. We have an American Eskimo, and the hair is long on this dog. And you take your rubber-soled shoe and scrape it across the carpet. Yeah, we have sucky carpet. I hate it. And balls of hair. So we turned on the vacuum cleaner, and it has one of those suction vortexes. You could see all the dirt spinning around. I don't know why that was important, but anyway, it looked like a cotton candy machine. It looked like you were making cotton candy. There was that much hair in this thing, and now she's happy. Now she's quite happy. I got my DNA test results. I'm going to share those in a moment. I did the DNA test for Christmas, and I got my results on Christmas Day. And some crazy stuff. I never expected it. Unbelievable. Oh, by the way, the number 1 present on Amazon this year was the Echo Dot. It's the Echo, it's like if you took Alexa and made it into a drink coaster. That's what it is. So that was the number 1 thing with Amazon. They went crazy over that. A lot of pot smoking going on in the country these days. Huge lines in California. Excited customers buying marijuana on the first day of legal sales in California. Did you ever think this day would come? And I'm not a pot guy. I'm not a pot guy. But wow. Marijuana, the states are falling like dominoes. Pot shop in Santa Cruz hung a huge banner. Prohibition is over, ! One in San Diego handed out T-shirts showing the first moon landing and declaring a giant leap for mankind. Well, it is a lot like the moon landing. Because when you're stoned, you walk kind of like the guys on the moon. Kind of slow. I'm going over here. Freebies and food greeted those who waited in long lines to get their hands on weed. Names like Oh Geez Us, GEES Us, and Banana Breath. This is so much different than Maui Wowie, like when I was a little kid and I heard about it. Lines were at least 40 minutes long in some stores. They came as far away as Iowa, Kansas, and Canada. And the Kansas people are stupid because to the immediately left, the immediate west of Kansas is Colorado. So some doofus went, dude, I heard they made pot legal in California. And they flew to California to get some pot. And I said, I'm sure as the pilots are on there, well, if you're flying to California for legalized pot, we are flying over Kansas or over Colorado right now where it's legal. But we're going to go another 1,000 miles out of our way to get pot. They're like, oh, dude, we really messed up. Can you imagine the number of honey roasted peanuts that you'd serve to people flying back from Colorado who'd been smoking weed over New Year's? I mean, honestly, can I have like 10 bags of those? Just leave the cart here. Just leave it here, man. I don't know. I think that it's going to, like so many things, jump the shark. The hashtag Me Too movement, the radical LGBTQ agenda. There are a lot of things that I sincerely hope jump the shark as far as legalized weed. I got to tell you, I think it's going to jump the shark. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to the day that the legalized pot is no big deal. I don't want my kids smoking it, whatever. I'm not going to be a consumer of it, but it's a little much. The thing I like most about it is that all these stoners who over the years have come up with every excuse, and they used to have to say, did you know marijuana was once grown to make rope? Yeah. And we wouldn't have to chop down trees if we had marijuana plants because you can use it for rope and clothes and paper. And now they can just admit, okay, all right, we wanted to get high all along. It wasn't about the rope. It wasn't about, I don't even have a hemp sweater. I just used it as a cover. I just want to get high. There you go. I think that's about all the pot content we're going to do today. Your comments on your thoughts on any of this, 602-260-5394, 602-260-KFYI. Will every state in the union become a pot legal state? I don't know. it'll be a while. I'll just put it that way. It'll be a while before all of them fall. I do believe in the decriminalization of it. I do. Because I've known a lot of people. I had a friend who was in college. He's about my age, and he got caught with a joint, and it cost him thousands of dollars. Of course, this was the 80s, too, right? So decriminalization, I know people who smoke it. I know adults who smoke it. I know people my age who smoke it. Or have the edibles. Yeah, I don't care. We all have our need at times to escape reality. Maybe it's a couple glasses of wine after work. Maybe it's, adrenaline level workout. Whatever. Maybe it's smoking a joint. I don't know. Did you know that Arizona's minimum wage went up today? People who worked 8 hours today, working for minimum wage, made $4 extra today. May not seem like a lot to you. Probably kind of a little hit for a lot of small businesses. So $20 a month, $80 or $20 a week, $80 a month. After taxes, you're probably coming home with, about $37 after everything. I mean, even poor people making a minimum wage, and most of you don't make minimum wage. If you have any sort of skill, even a GED, you are going to make more than minimum wage. Kids make minimum wage. Sorry. It's just the way it is. Anyway, Arizona's minimum wage went up 50 cents an hour to usher in 2018. Went a little higher in Flagstaff. All right? It will rise to $11 an hour 2019, $12 an hour 2020. After which it will increase annually with inflation. Okay. Employers in Arizona may still pay waiters and other tip-receiving workers up to $3 an hour less than the minimum wage. I thought if you waited tables, you made $3 an hour. I could be wrong. Come up in a second. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. If you're a small business owner, how did this affect you today? Is this going to take a bite? Is this going to mean people work fewer hours? Is this going to make you work more? 602-260-5394, 602-260-KFYI. I'm going to explain in a second here why. Because of Donald Trump, we didn't need to raise the minimum wage. I'll give you details on it. In the meantime, let's go to the newsroom with Jill Landauer. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You as well. Senator John McCain plans to return to Washington soon. CNN reports sources close to the senator say the Arizona Republican is feeling better since returning home to recover over the holidays. McCain was diagnosed with a brain tumor in July. Side effects of treatment caused him to be hospitalized last month before he returned to Arizona. Of course, that meant he missed the vote on the GOP tax plan. A specific date for his return has not yet been determined. Arizona lawmakers go back to work next Monday, and there are plenty of challenges to be tackled. House Speaker J.D. Mesnard says that with the passage of federal tax reform, the legislature will need to pick up the issue to ensure Arizonans don't pay more state taxes.
So I would expect to see some major tax policy changes and adjustments for future years. Don't know what that will look like just yet. We're still digesting the impact of the federal legislation, but I hope it's an opportunity for our own reform here in Arizona.
Mesnard says other priorities include addressing the opioid crisis, recidivism, and education spending. A Valley father now charged with murder and the death of his infant son.
A Maricopa County grand jury indicted 30-year-old Robert Resendez on murder charges as well as 3 counts of child abuse. Resendez reportedly told Phoenix police on December 19th that he put his 6-month-old son's leg up over his head and held him there until he stopped crying. Investigators say he also bit the boy out of frustration. The child had several life-threatening injuries and died a few days later at the hospital. Jason Campadonia, 550 KFYI News.
Last year will go down in the record books for the Valley. The National Weather Service says 2017 was the warmest year ever recorded in Phoenix. The average temperature last year, 77.3 degrees. That's 0.2 of a degree higher than the previous record set in 2014 and 2 degrees above the normal of 75.1. Now Lee Powell and Steve Trello with your east side, west side traffic.
Hey, Joanne, looks like those 2 wrecks we've been talking about got cleared. That was quick work there. Southbound 101, a wreck, the transition over to the 202 Santan eastbound. Well, that's been moved off. The other wreck just about cleared off is the one on the 202 eastbound Santan after the 101. We have some slow and go action on the 202 westbound Red Mountain Freeway, 32nd Street out to the 5110 mini stack. And let's see what else is slowing up here. Not much more. Things are looking good here on the east side so far. What's the latest on the west side, Steve?
Well, I-10 westbound at 7th Street, Lee. We've got an accident off right and stop-and-go traffic on the I-10 westbound from the mini stack out to 51st Avenue. Accident off right, I-17 northbound, but approaching 19th Avenue. And I-17 northbound is stop-and-go from the stack up to Bethany Home Road. 19th Avenue at Southern, we have a crash and a wreck, 27th Avenue north of Thomas, and an incident involving a pedestrian, 75th Avenue at Lower Buckeye Road. Next traffic, 445, Steve Trella, 550, KFYI.
News, information, perspective, all day long. News Talk 550, KFYI.
I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I always said the worst thing about Christmas and the holiday season is that it ends. This year I was kind of glad. It was over. And by the way, Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Can we retire that song, please? Can we retire? Because at least half of my break was spent with that stupid song in my head. All I want for Christmas is you. Oh, baby. And, women love it. All right. Women love that song. It's like Dancing Queen at a wedding reception. They go crazy. Ladies, am I right? Most women love that song. Love that song. But I can't take it anymore. I can't have that song in my head anymore. Okay. Coming up, I've got a few things I want to... Well, there's some laws that passed in the country that started yesterday. There's some pretty interesting stuff. Some funny, some good, some superfluous. We'll share the details on that. Also, Baltimore residents who protested the police presence and all that realize that they want the police back because people are dying, because criminals know that the police aren't going to do it. And a tragic story out of Colorado, a deputy. And it puts in perspective the danger that our first responders, our police officers, face every single day. And you're thinking, inner city stuff. No, just domestic violence crimes. Just an unbelievable story. So we'll get to that. And I want to share my DNA results. Amazing DNA results. I got the DNA test for Christmas, and I'll tell you, did not, in my wildest dreams, expect my life to be turned upside down like it has been in the last 4 days. I'll share that after the top of the hour. Okay? So, you got a lot of people looking at the economy. You got 1.5 million fewer people on food stamps since Donald Trump took office. You got 3% growth of the GDP first 2 quarters, 3.2 the third quarter, and I'll bet it's going to go over 4 in the fourth. The biggest retail season in American history. All right? And I hate to tell you this. It's not because of Barack Obama. I was nice there. It's not because of Barack Obama. If it were because of Barack Obama, why the hell did it happen in 2007? Or 2007, he wasn't in office. 2012. Why didn't it happen in 2011? Why didn't it happen in 2013? Why did we want what? It waited until Donald Trump became the president? Are you out of your mind? Are you in Colorado, for crying out loud, or California? And by the way, kicking ISIS butt all over the Middle East, that's not Barack Obama either. That is Donald Trump taking the handcuffs off our generals and saying the rules of engagement have changed. You don't have to wait to be attacked to respond. You can go in and kick their asses. But one of the things that people are saying, Donald Trump's economy really isn't that great because wages are not growing. Despite the fact that the unemployment rate is a 17-year low, despite the fact that unemployment claims a couple weeks ago were the lowest since 1971, despite the fact that the president told and signed an executive order that for every one new regulation, 2 go bye-bye. Businesses are thriving. Businesses are coming here. Businesses are giving bonuses. Businesses are raising wages. The missing piece of the economic puzzle over the last few years, rising wages, getting filled. Yeah. Employers in cities like Minneapolis, Denver, Fort Myers, Florida, finally raising wages to attract workers. As the unemployment rate since near 3% or lower in those states, I believe it's only about 4.1% in Arizona. Senior economist of Moody's Analytics, Adam Kamens. You're seeing the first movers into full employment and past it with the uptick in wage growth. There's a guy in Fort Myers, Florida, owns a Broadway Palm Diner. Says that even kitchen staffers such as those are finding their wages raised 5 to 10%. If you're a dishwasher with a pulse, we'd probably hire you. It's according to the owner. If you just show up, for crying out loud. My son has had a variety of jobs. He's 18 years old. He works at a nursing home right now. He's a hell of a kid. And he serves meals to people. 18 years old, I think his starting wage is $9.75. If he went to work at Best Buy, his starting wage would be $13 an hour. People right now, because business is turning around, this is what happens. When business turns around, people need to attract more employees. They need to attract the best. If you are just a minimum wage employee, you're probably a kid, or to some degree, you failed at a lot of things in your life. That's just the way it is. Sorry. Minimum wage? I had to make minimum wage when I was in college. That was what was offered me. I had to work, study, worked at a local radio station. The local radio station paid me about $1.50 more, but I could only make minimum wage at the university. By the way, Northwest Missouri State University, home of the mighty Bearcats. Can I get an amen from the Bearcats in the audience? Come on now. Mighty Bearcats, Division II champions in football last fall. I know. You and your Rose Bowl, you and your, NCAA championship game, Division II is where it's at. Yeah. George Borjas, professor of economics and social policy at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. Blah, blah, blah. How the hell did you get that on a business card? Anyway, found in 2016 that a large influx of foreign immigrants in Miami suppressed the wages of native low-skill workers. Did you hear the news? Donald Trump, because of Donald Trump, and he's a blank phobe, he's a whatever phobe, has reduced the immigration to the country by 70%. Now you're saying that's terrible. No. You got to be picky. You got to bring in the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. Because you've got a large influx of foreign immigrants, no skills. They are going to depress the wages of native low-skill workers. So how about you as a small business owner in the state of Arizona? You got to pay 50 cents an hour more today for your employees. Arizona's unemployment rate, 4.3% in November 2017, the most recent figure, down 5% in November 2016 when voters approved this increase. It's so easy just to, spend other people's money. State added 44,000 net jobs over 12 months, including 12,000 in restaurants and bars. And I got to tell you, as the unemployment rate goes down, and as the people can be a little more choosy. When business is good, people who are looking for a job can be a little more choosy, and it appears to be doing it. And it's not because of the mandated minimum wage. Not because of it. Okay. Coming up, some laws around the country that are pretty interesting. A 3-star or 2-star general is not going to be made a 3-star general because he called a woman sweetheart. Okay? Got to get into that. Baltimore now begging for police. They call them pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, all this stuff. Now they're begging for police. Unbelievable. And getting a DNA test for Christmas. I'll share my details. I think it's pretty cool. And if you've done it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of this. Here's the number, 602-260-5394. 602-260-KFYI. My name is Rob Carson. Let's do East Side, West Side traffic. Lee Howell and Steve Trella.
Well, the 101 southbound, Rob, showing a lot of traffic starting around the 202 Red Mountain Freeway out to almost the 60 already. Westbound 202 Red Mountain, stop and go, 32nd Street out to the 5110 mini stack. Now, if they're on the 143 southbound, you've got a lot of slow and go starting around Sky Harbor over to I-10. Taking a look at 10 eastbound, stop and go Jefferson out to the 60. And westbound 10 traffic starting to get heavy from the 202 mini stack all the way out to 51st Avenue. With his eyes on the west side, Steve Trello.
Yeah, we've just cleared an accident, Lee. I-10 westbound at 91st Avenue. Still have some stop and go I-10 westbound from the mini stack out to 51st Avenue. Also stop and go on the 17 northbound between the I-10 stack and Bethany Home. 19th Avenue at Southern, we have a crash. Also 27th Avenue north at Thomas. And an accident involving a pedestrian, 75th Avenue at Lower Buckeye Road. Next traffic, 505, Steve Trello, 550, KFYI.
Russia, healthcare, taxes. We give you perspective about what's happening. News Talk 550, KFYI.
Rob Carson filling in once again. An honor and a privilege to be here. Honestly, it's just fun. I really enjoy the time here, and I hope you do as well. Coming up at the top of the hour, I want to share some pretty crazy results with regard to the DNA test I took. And if you got a DNA test or you requested a DNA test for Christmas, found out I'm not the father. No, did nothing like that. No, Jerry Springer, whatever the hell that show is.
You going to end up on Maury Povich?
There you go. Maury Povich is the one. I'm not the father. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you saw this. Last week they had a special edition on. There was a guy named Skywalker on there, and there was a guy named Vader. Turns out he was the father, and it was like it was kind of heartwarming actually. Normally it's and all this and all that, and who's the mother? Who's the mother? Do we know the mother of Darth Vader? His wife or, woman he was dating or whatever? Do we know? I don't know. I didn't see the new Star Wars. Anyway. Some new laws. We'll get into that in a second. You hear about this guy, actor and comedian Jay Mulsky, goes to the Hall of Presidents at Disney World and he decides to protest the animatronic Donald Trump. This is so classic. This is liberal idiocy on parade. This is the prime example of the bat guano crazy Trump derangement syndrome, where you go, it'd be like going to Chuck E. Cheese and yelling at Chucky singing the animatronic show, the birthday song. And it makes that kind of sense. And this guy, and I thought it was a joke. I heard an actor and comedian, Jay Mulsky. This would be a great stunt if you went there and pretended to protest Donald Trump. He wasn't kidding. Here's some of the audio from him screaming at the animatronic display.
No event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words.
Sorry, the audio's not the best. It is from a cell phone.
Him up! Lock him up!
There we go.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
Lock him up! Lock him up! Lock him up!
What a doof! I mean, what an absolute and utter doofus. Doofus. Oh, wait, we've got an announcement to make. Mike in Gilbert has something he wants to say. Some good news about the economy impacting the local economy. What's going on, Mike? Give us the news, brother.
Yeah, hey, Southwest Airlines employee here. Gary Kelly, our CEO, just announced a $1,000 bonus for every employee at Southwest Airlines, full and part-time. $5 million for charity, and he's also going to invest in new Boeing aircraft fleet.
Bravo. Good form, my friend. Good form. So what do you do at Southwest?
I'm a pilot there.
Oh, nice.
And I just heard American Airlines followed suit.
Love it, man. I love it. What planes do you fly? You don't have to tell me where you fly and all that. What planes are you in charge of?
737s.
737s. Dang. You ex-military?
Yes.
Nice. God bless you, brother. Thanks for the phone call. Enjoy what are you going to spend the bonus on? Oh, he dropped off. You know what? Yes! Yes! Back to the story of the doofus yelling at the animatronic Donald Trump. Here's what this doofus said in an email. Donald Trump is a madman with fascist tendencies who has persuaded millions of middle-class Americans to vote against their own interests. So I was worried I'd be put on some sort of a list if I'm not already and probably incur the wrath of ignorant sheeple. Ignorant sheeple. You're an ignorant sheeple. But I figured a bunch of them would be at this ride and wanted to show their kids what a protest looks like before Trump murders democracy. It's at Disney World. Go to the Pirates of the Caribbean. End pirating! End pirating! If people are upset that I disrupted their family vacation, I hope they'll think about the thousands of children being taken away from their parents because of Trump's racist immigration policy. You're at frickin' Disney World. You know, if you're going to protest something, protest It's a Small World after all. Because that ride is just god-awful. Have you been on that ride? It's worse than Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. You will have that stupid song in your head for years. Trump's racist immigration policy, parents of hundreds of trans people murdered each year by transphobic, homophobic people. Man, he's really spewing it all out here, isn't he? You got to be protesting the cost of that Mickey Mouse-shaped waffle at the resort. That's what I'd be protesting. They're like $9. All right, so coming up, my DNA results, some odd news. Baltimore residents now say, oh, we want the police back because it's gotten all sorts of murdery. The number 602-260-5394. My name is Rob Carson. You are listening to News Talk 550 KFYI.